This is Justin AMZN for Monday, November 18th, 2019. Today we opened up really right at the bottom edge of the downtrend channel, pretty flat from Friday. Had 15 minutes of selling, and that had really a bullish day. I was a bit surprised at how bullish today actually moved. We got through 1727.80. Had an inside bullish candle, high wave candle right on that price. And then from there, we rallied, and we really rallied right back up into 1747. Looked like we were going to form a double top on here, and then it continued, pushed up a little bit, right back up into our downtrend channel. And from there, rolled over. And so what I ended up seeing was a little bit more of a head and shoulders here, something like that, which means the neckline would be something either like this on an angle or kind of like this flat, which means this is a retest right here, and it started to roll over and should have continued down. Or maybe this is a secondary retest and it also should have continued down. Well, it didn't. It actually broke out bullish. Flew right on through 1747, and it looked like we were actually bouncing off of 1747 bullish at this point. And if you kind of take a bigger step back on the subject of head and shoulders, this looks like a shoulder, this looks like a head, and this looks like a shoulder. And now this kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulders on a kind of slightly bigger time frame. So, you know, maybe a little bit of a stretch that this is a shoulder. It definitely doesn't have the same level of a shoulder here and here. So we came down further. It's definitely a slanted shoulder, or a slanted inverted head and shoulders. Really, the neckline of this is really, I just did a sloppy job drawing it. It's really this channel. I can't select just the one line. It's really this that's kind of the neckline here. And then we actually broke out from inverted head and shoulders. Or if you draw a traditional neckline going horizontally, the cursor where it's sitting right now is, you know, somewhat like 1755 is somewhat of a neckline. We just didn't really touch it here and didn't touch it here, but it, you know, it means that, okay, we're getting ready to do something to actually move up a little bit. So that's kind of a couple different frameworks coming together here. But again, like I said, I did not expect as much bullishness. I expected much more bearishness, more of a rollover here, and it just didn't all happen. We had a really nice playoff of 1727.80 bullish. If you were in out the gate, good job. It flashed right down into, well, not even flashed down. It moved nicely down into 1727.80. I just didn't anticipate it doing this right here so quickly. I thought it would at least consolidate at this level a little bit. But I guess looking at the daily, it's really sold off quite a bit. And so it comes down to that price. And the last time we were down here, let's see, we put in a low 1722.71. Yeah, that's palindrome. Cool. 172271. The low on this day was 1722. So really the people who are buying here, other than when we had earnings, the people who were buying here were buying again here. So maybe that's all that happened today, is those people were buying and just did a better job of buying it up. Not quite a hammer here. The wick and the body are about the same size. This is really a nice retest, come back up into 1747 and a little further. Like I said on Friday, it really could, or no, I was doing the video yesterday for Friday's video that I did yesterday or Sunday. Really, it could push up into the 21 here, probably into the 1760s. Would not be surprising for it to do that. It would almost look like, if we get another bullish move tomorrow, it would look like it's getting a really nice bounce. We still have the momentum. Let's see, did we go bearish yet on the momentum? Yes, we finally did. I think that's what that is. Let's see if it'll, no, don't do that. That's really not what I wanted to do. Sorry. I meant to grab right here. There we go. Yeah, you can't see it. This day is positive, and then this day it shows up -81, but it's red. I don't know why it's red. It's blue. I thought it'd be like cyan color. Anyway, it looks like the momentum has finally shifted bearish on a bullish candle. Go figure. But yeah, that's happened. If we look at kind of a move right here going bearish, and then once we get back up here into 1747 going bearish, those were kind of the, I mean, this was the price I was looking for. This, right out the gate, I wasn't expecting it to flash so quickly down. I keep saying it's a flash. It's a nice 15-minute move bearish, continuing from yesterday, much, much faster from yesterday or Friday. But then the rally here was a really nice rally, and you really could have done a bracket trade on this where you're going to get in bullish above and stop below, or go bearish below and a stop above, and that would have been a really nice move up. And we really came right back up into the resistances that we were into on Friday. So anyway, a couple things to look at there. Let's jump over to the options. So the calls first. This is the 1750 call. As we got into the 1727.80 price, we were up here. We pushed down to 1722. Would have been a little harder to be trading this. Made that inside candle, and then really right here is the candle that was sitting on 1727.80. So even with this candle, the range was less than $1. It broke out bullish. It actually retested back into the range. You really could have been getting in 8x7. Had a little bit of extra room on the downside here, but 8x7, getting into that, going bullish, and that option just ran, and you could have been getting out right up here at 15, because that would have been a nice target at 1747, or you could have gotten out earlier, anywhere along here. But this is what we're talking about. This candle, looking for a bullish move right here. It breaks out bullish. Don't get in on that. It's continuing. Don't get into that. Get in on the pullback. We know it's breaking out. Okay, great. Let's pull back. And the challenge with this is this looks like it's an S curve, or the potential of an S curve rolling over. We're way down here. We continue lower. We took out 1727.80. Okay, we should roll over. We've almost touched the 21. This looks like a rollover. So some folks were going bearish right here. Then some folks who are just looking at, say, this bearish candle, were going bullish right here. Seeing that, oh, hey, look, we closed above this candle's open, and the open and the high are the same. So we closed above this candle, shave top candle. So we're trapping bears with this candle and with this candle. They're going to try and just get out of their positions. So maybe this is them, buying it back. You're going to have some people getting in here because they think it's rolling over, and you're going to trap them too. Here we go. We're going to continue on up. And so just like we've done on a daily, we've gone down just kind of gently. We did that here going up on a 5-minute. Then we had this candle taking out the open high and a really nice rally into 1747. So you can play all that with mitigated risk, getting in on a bearish candle here or here. Either one of those worked. 10x9 worked here, ran up to 15. That would have been a nice 5R. Had you gotten in 8x7, that would have worked here, getting in on a bearish candle, going bullish, obviously, and that would have been a nice move of 8R all the way up to this price. And then you can really see you started to get a bit of a double top here, and even this price wasn't getting above even higher on the option, even though it was taking out the high on the stock. It just didn't do that on the option, and so you're actually losing some premium here on the call. Starts to break down a little bit. One last gasp to bounce off the 21, which it hasn't done since here. That starts to roll over. That plays into this head and shoulders on the 5-minute, and you really could have been in bearish right off of this line up here. Like I said, I was looking to get in bearish over here, like a double top right off of 1747, and it ended up rolling back down at this price right around 1748, 1749, right off of the downtrend channel. And so let's look over at the puts on that. So that would have been, this is the 1725 put, and you would have been getting in somewhere in here. It just didn't move very well. Don't have nearly as much volume on this one. If we go look at the 1750 puts, we're really close to at the money, and so they're much more expensive. But again, we have kind of much lighter volume on some of these, just line candles instead of, actually body candles. Much more expensive here. This would have been, let's see, what time was that at? This was 10:35, 10:40. Okay, 10:35, 10:40. Yeah, the range is a little wider on a couple of these. You'd probably be looking to get in like 16 by 15, and it's just much more expensive to do that, and much more likely to be stopped out. Just because doing $100 on something a little more expensive like this is tough. You do have a little bit of support here. The low is 15.47. So something like that could have helped give you some support from the open price. But yeah, I don't think this is the option I would have been looking at to go bearish there. Look at 1740. Still a little bit expensive. You get a bit of a reversal here, a nice Morningstar reversal. You could do probably 11 by 10 up in here. Looks like it didn't quite pull back into 11 here. Let's go out another 10 bucks and see what that does. The volume's actually okay on these, which, well, no, this is a little lighter here, but there you go. Morningstar reversal, pulls back into the price, so you could have been doing 8 by 7. I kind of like this one. 1730 looks like it's okay. And that would have been a nice move from 8 to 10. Could have gotten out just for 2R. Would have been a nice gain. But why would you be getting out here around noon? Why? Why would that be your target around noon? This is where I would have thought it should continue lower, and so I don't know if I would have moved my stop right here to really lock that in. And I don't know that I would have just exited at 2R if I thought, oh, it should just touch this line. It should get down to this line easy. Well, at this price, we were actually running into the open price. And so the open was at 1738.30. That was really the price we paused at. We did not actually get a close below that price. Let's see. I say that and I look at the candle by 7 cents. We closed below it on this candle and we closed above it by 9 cents on this candle. Okay. So within 7 cents, I should actually check the price before I say something, but it looked like it was right. Okay. So we were really holding that level here. And that was, that makes this, at this point, a high wave candle. I mean, literally, we're deciding between being a bullish candle, bearish candle. It's a high wave candle at this point. And there's no body to it. The open, and if you say the close is right here, we're bearish by 7 cents, and that's the day. Well, the day continued. And instead of rolling over, instead of staying there, it broke out. It had this nice little 3-candle breakout, or S curve, or whatever you want to call this, that went sideways. And this is where you just build up that momentum. Did not get the squeeze, but the momentum shifted bullish. And this is where it really, give you a great opportunity to go bullish here. So we'll come back to this price in here. Actually, this was your first signal that it did not break down. This is a continuation pattern. It did not break down. Something changed. It's going up. It shouldn't be going up. So this is where you kind of check, like, all right, what was I expecting? What was I seeing? Should I get out here? Should I hold this? Where's my stop? That's where you evaluate when something's not doing what you thought it was going to do. And so we're doing this longer stair step, and we did not really get 3 hours of sideways today. I was kind of watching for something. We got about an hour here. And then if you include, where we got into that price, I mean, it still made a higher move here. So I don't really like counting all this as like 3 hours of sideways, but I kind of like this hour sideways. It was really setting up nicely. But it is, again, it's a change from what we've seen over the last number of days. So at this point, let's look at some calls. Let's look at let's look at 1 o'clock, 1:10, somewhere in here. We'll look at the 1750 call again. So at this time, we're really coming right into that $10 price. From over here, we're supposed to break down. So again, the option can do this, something similar. It should have broken down. It didn't. It actually broke out, and it's hovering right around 10. It's not breaking down anymore. We're still well above the lows through here, but these lows were all right about at 9. So really, you could have been getting in right here, 10 by 9, right at 1 o'clock, and that would have been a really nice setup to take that back up to 15, just like it did over here. And if it didn't work, then you would have been stopped out at 9, and that's fine too. So that would have been a great setup right here, getting in 10 by 9, the 1750 call, and it actually gets in the money. And you probably would have wanted to take some profits. Well, take something right at 1747 in case it does something similar to this. But it does continue, and some folks probably were trying to hold on to get a move up into this part of the channel, and instead it just chopped around, didn't get there, and lost some premium as it went along. But really, you had some opportunities to get out really at the same option price, and you want to be looking at a kind of resistance for the option. So that would have been right at like 15 here. You also want to be looking at where's resistance on the stock itself. So that would have been kind of the high of this candle, so at 120. So you're in at 1 and you're out at 120 with some of it. So that's in here, and then you're out at 120. Maybe 2R. I don't know if you would have been getting out right there. So you probably, if you were just trying to get 2R, just trying to get an R, something like that, and just going to scalp something, you had a nice move here, just getting in 10, getting out at 12. Let's say that. And 12 is really right at this neckline. If you look at this as somewhat of a double top or multi-top, and that's, I don't know if I call it a neckline if it's a multi-top, but anyway. If we come back over here, let's see. So we traded this, looked at this bullish, looked at this bullish, looked at this bearish. There wasn't really anywhere else to go bearish. It just didn't cooperate to do that. So we zoom out a little bit. We've been in this downtrend channel. It's been really helping frame the trades. And, it could roll over from here. We can push up a little bit more like we've done here and here. But I would, if it's going to continue, if what we've seen happen is going to continue, I would expect us to just kind of grind along that line and grind a little bit lower. And then from there, if we can do the same sort of setup as here or here, if we can grind along that line and have some sort of breakdown to get down into this line by the end of the day on Tuesday, look for something to continue more bearish. That even just that is a really nice setup. Taking this bearish from around 1750 down to 1740, 1742, $8, $10 move, something like that tomorrow. And if it continues, great. You can get back in at the open, just like these work, getting in at the open, going bearish, and riding that down to the next line. So if it does a move like this, getting into like 1740, 1742, it does this on Tuesday, then look for it to do something like this on Wednesday, where it actually continues back down into the downtrend, back into the low that it hit today. Look for that on Wednesday. If what we've seen repeats itself, that's the framework. So look at the puts we looked at. So that's maybe the 1730 put, or maybe the 1725 will be working a little bit better. It's definitely cheaper. It's a little further away, so that helps too. But you go back and look at what happened here and here to figure out, okay, what this was on a Tuesday. If we get a day like, nope, sorry, that was a Thursday. This one was a Tuesday. If we get a day like this on a Tuesday, look at what the options were doing here, which puts really good ones to trade. And look at that. That was just last week. This was a Thursday, so the puts were priced a little different. Different premium depending on being further away out of the money or in the money or anything like that. But this should give you a good assessment of where the options are at. Now, granted, it was monthly options expiration last week. And so you're trading the monthly options rather than just weekly options during this day. So, take that into consideration. It's still mostly a normal week. Next week is it next week? That's Thanksgiving already? Yeah. Next week is Thanksgiving in the U.S., and so the market would be looking a little different, be a little bit quieter. Certain days, I don't know the schedule right now, if Friday's a half day or Wednesday's a full day or half day. I don't know. I haven't looked at that yet. It's all the way next week. But anyway, if we can do something like this tomorrow and we trade it with weekly options, look for something a little bit out of the money for it to, either ride lower, or by the end of the day, let's say we get 3 hours of sideways. We didn't quite get it that day. We definitely got 3 hours of sideways this day. Let's say we get 3 hours of sideways and then it breaks down. Be ready for that, So let's say we come into 1750 one last time, as we're jogging around in here, And then we start to break down, and it doesn't just stop at 1747. It starts to come down to 1740. And I don't know exactly where Tuesday is going to show up on here, but that's kind of what I'm looking for to do. If it does it, great. We got a way to trade it. If it does something totally different, great. Don't trade it or make a plan for how to do that. We definitely be been in this downtrend. If we start to break out, if we continue a little bit higher, look for some resistances in here to come into play. Look for, let's say, 1767, the low through here, the high through here. We had a bit of a triangle here. Maybe we'll retest entirely up to the apex at this price around 1671 and then roll over. That's entirely possible. So we've got our framework, got some ideas of how to trade it. Just keep an eye on things as it opens up in the morning. See if you can get some small candles. If it's going to do some big move, just play it off of, play the right candle off of our support and resistance. This was a really nice inverted hammer. It just didn't work. But if you were getting in here and your stop was wide enough, then you weren't stopped out and maybe you made a little gain as we move down here. This candle, these two candles are not the ones to be trading. They're too large right off of this price. But that candle is a really nice one. What is that one setting me up for? That's what we can do. That's how we can get better at figuring out what's going on in the candle, figure out in that price, in that candle right there, where's the trade? Where are people trapped? Where's the probability that we're going to continue or reverse or do something and not just sit stagnant? Because if we're sitting stagnant, your options are just going to lose value. Got to be moving. And so we can get in at the price that it is moving or about to move. You can potentially pick up some gains there. We'll keep looking for that. Hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.